Hey you guys, I'm Nini FC from Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing you guys the match preview for the upcoming game this weekend against Manchester United. Now, of course, I'm joined by two special guests. Flex, we say, man, you
Good.
good?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Rans, what's good,
My
bro?
guy, what's
You
good?
good?
Yeah.
And before I get into anything, you guys know what I'm about to say. Today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. If you guys want to stay up to date with all the latest happenings surrounding the upcoming game this weekend, make sure you guys download the One Football app. It's going to be in the link in the description below. The first thing I want to address and I want to find out from you guys is, how are you feeling about Lukaku going?
Happy.
You happy?
Yeah. Like, maybe not that we haven't got a replacement. That's a bigger problem.
Yeah.
But people spoke about Pogba being this virus and unprofessional and all this. Look at the state of the way he's left the club.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean how we are as a team. I mean how in the manner that he's left, posting up sensitive private information about the players, flipping, coming out on Twitter and saying shit. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke. So.
But you know what? Let me play devil's advocate for a second now. Now, there's a guy at Crystal Palace, Wilfried Zaha. He's been priced out of a move this entire window for how many windows now? It's a madness, and it's like Zaha is doing it classy, but clubs make it difficult where agents and players are forced to have to take these drastic measures to get what they want. Because I'm thinking Lukaku, for the money United wanted, is a bit overkill, you know, because it could have ruined the move to Inter Milan.
He was always going to get his move, man. He was always going to get his move.
I think that all he's done is he's shown who he is, innit? Because I believe as a person, like, you just carry yourself in a certain way, innit? Like man being pictured in other teams' kits and that when you're under contract and these things. Yeah. Bruv, go train at Anderlecht, bro. You can still wear your United tracksuit, bruv. You're not an Anderlecht player. Do you see what I mean? You're training with the under 18s. So when you're doing all those things, posting sensitive things, people talk about Pogba. Pogba said that he was open for a new challenge. Eriksen done the same thing at Tottenham. But the difference is, like, you carry yourself a certain way, bro. Like, you don't be doing this. Like, Pogba didn't disrespect Manchester United.
Running his socks off.
But this is it.
Yes.
He didn't disrespect the club. And even though he's wanted to leave, he still played every single game bar one and put the work in, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what you do. So, yeah, you can come out and say, I want to leave and all these things. But while you're under contract, you still act professionally. What Lukaku's done is not professional, bro. Do you know
can
what I mean?
imagine his agent in his ear giving them the wrong advice.
No, but it doesn't matter. You're a grown man at this point. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't remember how old Rom is, man. He's in his mid-20s or something. He's not a kid.
But is there an argument that for a player to respect the club, he needs to feel that same respect back?
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, they haven't disrespected him one bit. They've welcomed him with open arms. He come for a big fee, big expectancy. He did all right in the first season. And he slacked off in the second season. And what he's done is he's thrown his toys out the pram because the manager preferred Rashford. That's not disrespecting. That's another manager coming in and wanted to go in a different direction.
Exactly.
You either stay and fight for your place and say, I'm going to show Ollie just why I should be the main man, or you be someone like Lukaku, which, all right, fair play to him, you back your ability, and saying, I should be number one wherever I go. We know Lukaku was never going to stay and play second fiddle to Rashford. He was not in his DNA. He thinks he's a lot better than he is. And also, don't get me wrong, he's got a good goal scoring record. I get that. And he will score goals in Italy. So fair play, but there's a way to be done. But in terms of disrespecting him, he has not been disrespected now.
Yeah, absolutely. He has not been disrespected because there was a long period under the previous manager where he should have been dropped and he kept his
Game in,
place
game out.
simply down to favoritism.
Yeah.
So now another manager's come in and the cookie hasn't crumbled your way. You want to throw your toys out the pram, but really on merit, you didn't deserve to be in the team anyway. So like, it is what it is, isn't it?
Like,
Like,
to be honest,
he's got a decent goal scoring record at certain clubs, innit? But he's a very limited player. And that's it. Like, I think the stats would prove that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I agree with your guys' takes on this situation. Just playing devil's advocate. Still, though, moving on to striker options, Martial, Rashford, who do you feel needs to be the number one replacement? Is Rashford at this level right now? Because for me, Rashford hasn't progressed. I'm still seeing the same player I first saw. And you know what? It's kind of like, it's not really a surprise to me because obviously, you guys are on my channel. I'm a football nerd. I look at their stats, tactics, all that stuff. And obviously, when Rashford first came to the United team, this guy wasn't even getting in the under-21 team.
He wasn't the next thing to blow.
He was not.
He wasn't like
He was
Greenwood.
not. And you know what? Like,
It's so nice to hear this coming from someone that's not a United fan. Because when I say it, people trying to say that I'm too negative about Rashford and all these things. Yes, he's an England international, but you see the hype that's surrounding Mason Greenwood. Rashford wasn't that guy. Like, I've been a United fan my whole life. I've always watched the reserves. I had MUT. As soon as MUTV was invented, I had it, bro. Like, and I used to pay that out of my own pocket when I was a youth, bruv. Like £7 and that. So I understand, when I was watching Giuseppe Rossi, Sylvan Blake, and then we've had Wilson more recently. These guys like these were tipped as the guys to blow. Rashford was never that guy.
Nah, he
Do you know
wasn't.
what I mean? So the fact that he got into the first team on a technicality when he wasn't ready and he did seize his chance, good for him.
Yeah.
But we're seeing him develop as a player under the massive lights of Old Trafford when really he probably should have been out on loan the last couple of seasons because his numbers, 13 goals is his best season.
Yeah.
You expect that from your midfielder. Do you know what I mean?
No,
So
you're right. And
it's like
yeah, I mean, this whole thing with Rashford too, it made me think about, is the level between youth football and
big man
actual
football is
first-
way too big.
Is
Way
it,
too
is it,
Not off the scale.
but think about it like this. Like, here's the thing. When Rashford first came in the team, you know why he did well? Because United at the time needed a
Better
striker
players
that was
around him
going
as
to
well.
make runs in behind. Because if you got cams like Matter and everyone, they need passes to play to. Rooney's coming towards the ball. They need someone making runs away.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't have to be some 10 out of 10 potential
No, you just
player
need to
to
run
do
the
that.
channels.
As long as you have
And have that
certain
electric
attributes,
pace.
exactly.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
long
something
as you've got
different,
certain attributes,
Yeah.
you can do
When
that.
you get found out, the more the game progresses
Exactly.
and the seasons progress, even with Lukaku, that's what you get
Yeah.
found
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like Lukaku's there's this analogy that when he was growing up at Anderlecht, he was the biggest and strongest and fastest
Yeah.
big kid, so you could just push through everyone. But when you get to elite
to
level,
work on the
the
fundamentals
scrutiny,
of the game.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it's a similar. I'm not saying exactly the same, but in terms of the analogy, it's similar to Rashford that like his limitations are now coming to the front.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think Rashford is a bad player. He's not. He's a good player. I don't believe he'll ever be world class. I don't ever believe he will be clinical and give us 25
Yeah.
goals a season.
That-
which,
I agree.
With Rom leaving, that's the biggest thing. Because where
Yeah.
are the goals going to come from? Martial is another one that like he showed his best form in his first season under
Yeah.
Van Gaal. Since then, you could argue it's a bit of mismanagement, not playing in his favourite position, and mentality. All three of them things as a culmination. But still, you couldn't put your money on it that Martial's going to score 25 goals this season.
Yeah.
You can't.
Me,
Yeah.
One thing that Martial has proven, and the numbers will agree, is that he's clinical. So, if I'm Manchester United, I'm like, give Martial as many chances as possible
Yeah,
in
surely,
front of goal
yeah.
because this guy is the most clinical in terms of percentage in the league. So, you make sure he gets these chances because very, very rarely does Martial get a chance that you think he should score and he doesn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, in my head, he's the number 9,
Yeah.
innit? Like, it's
Okay.
that
A lot of
simple.
United fans would echo that.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but
No. Before there was a whole Martial Rashford debate, I've always been on the Martial side, and now certain people
same.
are starting to see what I'm saying about Marcus. I think he's more suited as a winger.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think that if you give him too many options, he'll choose the wrong one.
That's
You
how,
can't
yeah.
cause damage,
So
don't
give
get
him-
twisted.
give him
Rashford
one
But
option.
he's the
couldn't
type of
call
player
them.
that likes his head down
Yeah.
when he
That's
runs.
it.
Well, there
That's
you
it,
go.
that's
And
it.
his link-up
Because-
play and awareness around
Yeah.
him is not good. So you give him the
Exactly.
option of cutting him from the left and shooting because that's one option Rashford will take.
One
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
All right, cool. So we've
that's
spoken
it.
about strikers. Okay, let the Chelsea fans know what players from United right now are the ones to watch in the game coming this weekend. I'll start with
You have
guys.
to be Tony, bruv. We got a brace against you lot at your gaff last time. Remember, we nearly went crashing down over the seats, bruv. What a
We
game.
actually nearly fell out the
Bro,
shed.
like the shed and
yeah.
people jumped on us and that. I think you got to look out for Tony, man. He's ice cold, innit? He's ice cold.
He's one of my. I'm not gonna lie. Martial's always been one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
I like guys that just look elegant when they play. And this
Yeah.
guy
It's like
plays.
effortless with
it's
this
He's got
too
Velcro in
effortless,
his
innit?
boots, man.
It's just a
course.
consistency thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I am concerned with how long though we can keep saying there's a player in there. You know, there's a player in
But
there. He's
now,
still
you see
he's
he's up
still
front.
young, but now if he gets
Yeah.
the 9 position, which I really think he should, he doesn't have anywhere to hide in terms of. He's got his favourite position. However, our squad's still not there yet because creatively in our midfield, you're talking about providing chances
Yeah.
for this guy. We're going to be abysmal.
But one thing he is better at Rashford at doing is creating his own chances. Like Martial can back into someone and roll them.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And do those things, the little intricate bits of play inside the
Yeah.
box and getting a half a
Safety
yard
goal
to get a
against
shot.
Liverpool.
He
Great
does.
Well, there you
example.
go. That's the prime example.
He does, however, though, need to improve his movement. Ollie's spoken about that in terms of
Not even
maybe
the
not
movement,
this
it's the
first
work
phase.
rate.
Exactly, but he needs to make a
Press
second and
more
a
and
third
stuff.
run.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've seen him, to be fair, when you talk about the pressing, I've seen him do it on pre-season. So hopefully he can carry that into it. He's
Yeah.
got space to improve. He's nowhere near the finished article. We know there's talent in there, and hopefully we see the best. out of him.
Exactly. And obviously, I want to ask you guys a few more things. We'll get this finished soon. Harry Maguire. Now, do you guys think that Maguire is the answer to United's defensive issues?
I do. I do. And I'll come out and say this for the simple fact that I remember after the World Cup, when we were linked to Harry Maguire, me and Flex were unanimous we didn't want him.
Yeah.
Because I said, we ain't seen enough of this guy. And the English are very, very, very good at overhyping their players.
Of course.
But the more we started getting linked with him, the more I started to actually watch him over 90 minutes, like not just watch fucking
Yeah.
YouTube clips,
Few
because
clips
everyone
and
looks
that, yeah,
amazing
yeah.
on YouTube, bro.
course.
Do Do you know what I mean? And his movement, like his reading of the game is brilliant. His balance is great. His passing range is very good.
Carries
He's
the
great
ball
in the
well.
air, bro.
Yeah.
Like when we played Holland, how many men are out jumping Van Dijk and De Ligt, bro? Like Harry
Yeah.
Maguire is a
Defensively
magnet.
and offensively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's brilliant,
He
and
is.
he gives us that presence that we've needed. A commanding centre back, someone who is going to be smash people in the air. Someone and
Bruce, we had a centre back
Exactly.
that attacks the ball like that.
exactly from at both ends of the pitch, and I think with him that's what we're going to get. I've been saying in all our previews, I'm not going to make out like since day dot I've always wanted
Yeah, of
Maguire. I'm
course.
never going to say that.
Gotta keep
But what
it
I
real.
will say is I'll echo what Rand said is from I saw that we was linked with him, I started to watch him more often, and I don't think there's any unless I'm living in a different world. I don't know how anyone could look at him and think he's shit.
Yeah, I mean, that
He
wouldn't be
brings
fair
all
to
the
say.
attributes that
Yeah,
that
of
we
course. I remember the game against us like a few seasons back when we were playing against Hull City.
Yeah.
He really stood out against
Solid,
us.
even
Very
then.
solid. But he's like, he impressed. He stood out. He made something happen. And that's when I took note. Wow, this guy, for his size, being English, his technique, how he plays, it's a decent player.
Yeah.
For me, all I'm saying is that when I'm paying 80 million, I want 100% guarantee. You know what I mean? I want straight guarantees that you're coming here,
I think we
you're
got that with
improving
him, though.
We got
straight.
that with
I
him.
think we got, and I think he'll start against you.
Yeah.
Only been training with us for about 3 or 4 days, and I
He'll be
could
fine.
eat my words because this is football.
Yeah.
But I'm confident that he will have a good game.
So am I.
Very
But obviously,
confident.
for me, when it comes to defending is more about the partnership more than individuals.
Absolutely, and that's still
Who
got.
do you
that's still
think will partner him? to
Lindelof.
get the best?
Lindelof,
Maybe
do you know
Lindelof.
what I mean? And with them, you've got 2 leaders as well, bruv. That's one thing you do have. Lindelof's not your vocal leader, yeah, but he's shown that he don't shy away. Like at the beginning of his career at the club, like there was a lot of pressure on him. He didn't start off the best, but he showed his character.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He forced his way back into the team.
He did.
Do you know what I mean? After getting sent off on your debut and giving away penalties and doing all
Yeah.
sorts of madness,
Madness.
yeah. And he showed his character, and he's
Yeah.
come back and he's been the rock at the back. And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure off him now.
Yeah.
Maguire's in there, and I think you're going to see the true quality of the guy,
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
2
it's
composed
good.
ball playing centre halves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? That can mix it up.
Only
Do you
good
know
for the national team too. That's what
Absolutely.
2 more quick questions. I want to speak about Pogba quickly.
Yeah.
Pogba, is this going to be the season where finally the team's going to get the best out of him?
Don't
'Cause
know.
I feel like
Probably not because we haven't. No,
Pete.
no, probably not because
Yeah.
we haven't. Our midfield is worse than it was last season. Ander Herrera's left, so I know, and he wasn't even a mainstay
Yeah,
playing every single game,
exactly.
smashing it.
Yeah.
But whether you like it or not, we're now weaker without him. Fellaini left, still
Yeah.
haven't replaced him.
No, you're
So our
right.
midfield is this:
You're hoping
McTominay,
Fred, though. Fred
Pereira,
coming back.
Fred. Question marks. We don't know.
Yeah.
Pereira second full season here,
He's been
but
decent, bro.
he's been decent.
been decent.
Can he hit the
Yeah.
levels? Can he get 10, 15 goals? We don't know.
Yeah.
McTominay only just coming into the fold now. He's probably going to be a mainstay in the side. Matic dying.
Yeah.
We don't know. So, and look, I can't sit here and say to you, this is going to be Pogba's year. I
course.
can't because we haven't even got the infrastructure to support that.
Nah, you're right.
100%.
Yeah, I think for me, when it comes to Pogba, I've always felt it's just like a hypothetical for me. I always thought United would be better with a diamond midfield. Imagine
We
Rashford,
played it a
Martial
couple
up front
times.
together.
Yeah, yeah.
You've
Bro,
got Mata in the
We played it a
camp.
couple of times.
Pogba
Bro,
got
we
some
don't-
goals.
We played it against you.
We don't have any
And it
wingers.
was-
And it did.
We don't have any wingers. Like it don't make
That's
no
what I'm
sense.
saying, 'cause the wingers aren't
We could
too
easily
great.
play Martial and Rashford up front.
That makes
like.
more sense to me. You
Do you know
can
what I mean?
track high up too, with
But the
Rashford.
problem is, yeah, in
Yeah.
that
Ones to
no,
use.
but the thing is with that formation, you rely on your wing backs for delivery, and
Yeah,
Luke Shaw
yeah.
going forward is terrible.
That's the thing.
Do you know what I mean? So
course.
this is the thing. If you've got like a Robertson at left back, then you can do that.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
know
you're
what I mean?
right.
Because Brazil used to play that 4-4-2 diamond, but they had Roberto Carlos and Cafu. Do you see what I'm saying? We got Luke Shaw, bro. So because of that, he doesn't go down the outside.
You guys are right, and it's like if you've got Luke Shaw, Pogba, and let's say Martial on the left, where's the defending? You know what I mean? It's going to be a bit peak. But just to wrap things up now, you guys, I just want to hear your match predictions for the game. So, do you think United are going to win? And if you do, what score?
I think that we're going to win. I was gonna say 2-1,
Respectable,
but
respectable
I
scoreline.
don't know. But I think that we could keep a clean sheet. Like I'm quite optimistic about our defense. But you know what? For argument's sake, I'll say 2-1 in it. I'll give a. Yeah.
Go over the cautious side.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I'll say
2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
We'll edge it by a goal.
Yeah, 2-1. You know what? The jury's out on both of these sides.
Yeah.
You know, Ollie's under reconstruction, inexperience, etc. Lampard first game managing in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Whatever you make of all of that. So it'll be a weird game. I think it'll be a weird game. I think the fact that we're at home, first game of the season as well, I think we'll shade it 2-1. I think we'll shade it 2-1.
These games are usually quite cagey, but
Exactly.
They are.
But I don't know. I feel
I
like
think now with
I feel
Ole
like it
and
won't
Frank
be though.
now, it's gonna be
with
a fun
Ollie and
game.
Frank, I think it won't be as cagey as we think. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's enough experience in the two teams.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know our team's quite young. Usually, when we played in our prime, there was a lot of experience. The Keanes, the Scholes, the Lampards. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of experience. The Terrys and that. Now there's not. It's quite a young team on both sides. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's quite open, bro.
I think so too. I think that it's going to be a fun game. I think that there's going to be goals. There's going to be good moments to play with a lot of mistakes, I think, because of the age we're seeing.
Yeah.
But I think that I'm seeing it being 2-2. I think both teams are going to get a draw. I don't see either team losing. I think it'll be a fair result too when you judge that. I think United and Chelsea are quite similar this season.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree.
Definitely.
Very
Loads
similar.
of question marks to be
Exactly.
answered.
Exactly. So we're in like the same bracket, the same group. So I think 2-2 seems quite fair and realistic. And of course, you guys that's watching this in the comment section below, tell me who you think is going to score in the game against United. Do you think we're going to win this? Let me know. I'm going to wrap things up. Flex, man.
Thanks for having us, bro. Nice one.
Rance, appreciate that, man. Thanks, you guys, for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing out.